Hey everybody, Daryl Andrews with the Healthy Grocery Store Tour. Welcome to our first video, hopefully the first of many. The idea behind this is to show others what we do at the Healthy Grocery Store Tour, how we help and encourage, keep people on track with a healthier lifestyle. So hopefully these will be educational to you. I'd like to do some on recipes, and that may involve me cooking, some product reviews. Today's video, this first video, is going to be on juice cleansing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey with a 3-day juice cleanse. I'm not one of those type of people that normally jump on a bandwagon or do these fad type things. I know every time we turn around, we seem to hear of something new that is supposed to help us get healthier or thinner quicker or what have you. But actually, juice cleansing has been around for quite some time. I first got this idea from my coach at Tao Training Center in Macon, Georgia. He and some other gym members did this juice cleanse through a company called Squeezed. And hearing some of the results, it intrigued me a little bit, and I figured, heck, it's just 3 days, why not try it? So I did some research, and I looked at different companies other than Squeezed. I was looking at price, but as I was looking at price, I didn't want to sacrifice quality either. But Squeezed was actually one of the most inexpensive juice cleansing systems out there. So their ingredients seem to be pure and whole, no sneaky sugars, no sneaky ingredients, just using what is on the label. They had good reviews, and so last Saturday I decided to do the 3-day juice cleanse. That's just 3 days of nothing but juice, no solid foods, just juice and water. I will tell you how I went about my 3-day juice cleanse. But what really impressed me from the beginning with Squeezed was I ordered it on a Saturday, late morning, right before lunch, and the next day, Sunday, an unmarked small pickup truck pulled up in my driveway. I had no clue who it was. I went outside, greeted the gentleman in the truck, and he opened up his door and he pulled out this cooler bag. It says Squeezed on there. It's a insulated cooler bag, reusable, which is really nice. But in just a little over 24 hours, I had all of my juices delivered to my doorstep. So I was super impressed with that. I know that Squeezed has several locations across the country. The closest one in Middle Georgia is going to be Atlanta. I believe their website says they do offer 1-day FedEx shipping if you don't live in range for the courier service like what I had. But super impressed with the turnaround time to get my juices. I was not expecting that at all. So I psyched myself up that day. I was ready to start on Monday. They're all numbered 1 through 5. You have your breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, mid-afternoon snack, dinner, and then you have the cashew milk, which is my favorite, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But they do encourage you to drink the juices, of course, to replace solid foods, and they want you to get at least 128 ounces of water in each day. Now, the Healthy Grocery Store Tour, we always say get half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. So at 128 ounces, that was a little bit more water than what I was used to drinking, but I do see the idea behind it as it does help keep you full. So I went into this with a few objectives. I have read where juice cleansing can help get rid of the bad bacteria in your gut and also at the same time, increase the good bacteria in your gut. So at the Healthy Grocery Store Tour, one of our main objectives along with balancing the blood sugar is to improve gut health. So that really intrigued me. So that was really the first objective. The second objective was I wanted to get in touch with the emotional and the psychological effect that I had with snacking. Over these past few months during the quarantine, it's almost like a switch flips at 7:30 in the evening. I'm craving a snack, and it's not necessarily something that's really bad for you, but I go to bed around 9 o'clock, so it's really not good for me to eat that close to bedtime. So I wanted to do it as a reset for my gut, to get rid of this snack craving, but I also wanted to do it for the adventure too. I'm a pretty adventurous guy. I like to push my limits, and so I really wanted to put myself to the test. But going into this, the thought of not having solid foods for 3 days seemed a little overwhelming at first, but I can say at the end it was not that bad. Squeezed sends you some very good instructions when you place the order. I think one of the best pieces of advice was how they said to drink the juices before you get hungry. Don't wait for you to get hungry. Don't wait for yourself to get hungry. Go ahead and stay in front of that hunger. So my routine was, of course, their number, like I said earlier, 1 through 5. I would have the breakfast juice, and the breakfast juice has orange, pineapple, carrot, apple, beet, and ginger and lemon. And most of these do have apple in there to sweeten them. Now, if you don't want the sweeter juices, and I didn't know this till after I ordered, that you can opt for the more vegetable-based juices. But apples are one of the most perfect fruits, in my opinion. It's low glycemic. So the apple is in almost all of these. Now, I will say that I did have a cup of coffee after my breakfast juice in the morning. I had a cup of coffee with just my Key2 creamer in there. And Key2 is a great brand. It's a healthy creamer, and I'll actually do one of my next videos on some of those products. But no solid foods for 3 days. I will say that I didn't get hungry. The only time it started getting a little rough for me was on day 3, where toward the end of day 3, I started feeling a little hollow. I wasn't really hungry, but I just felt empty. So it was starting to get to me, and with that empty feeling, I started thinking about solid foods a little bit more. I remember going into Jersey Mike's to order my daughter a sandwich on day number 2. And I'm not really a sandwich guy, but not after having solid foods for almost 2 days. That was a test of willpower for me. But again, I'm always up for the challenge. I kind of did that on purpose to see how I would do, and I guess I passed the test. One thing I did like, one of the mid-afternoon juice, number 4, had some good anti-inflammatories in there, whereas normally you have a lot of the sweet juices. This one was a little spicy, but the anti-inflammatories in there that they used were turmeric and ginger, and they also used carrot, apple, and lime in there too. So that was a good change up from drinking 3 sweet juices in a row. I mean, and they're very balanced too. I mean, the lunch one has coconut, pineapple, spinach, and apple in there. And also I want to say, I'm doing this on my own. I'm not endorsing Squeezed. I'm just sharing my journey. They're not paying me to do this or anything like that. So anyway, I mentioned the cashew milk earlier, and I could buy this by the gallon. I'll just read the label to you. It says, "When do I drink my cashew milk? during or after physical activity, throughout the day to fight hunger, or as a satisfying treat when the craving calls. And I mentioned me getting snack hungry in the evenings. This was my treat at the end of the day. This is what I really look forward to. It's a blend of cinnamon, cashew, date, sea salt, and good old H2O. So I really look forward to this, and I'll probably be buying some of the cashew milk and some of these other juices here in the future. But all in all, it was a great journey. It wasn't anything grueling. With that said, I couldn't imagine doing past the 3-day cleanse. I think 3 days is plenty for me personally. They do offer a 1-day cleanse. They offer a 5-day cleanse. So go check them out. You can do Squeezed. You can just Google Squeezed or look on Facebook, Squeezed Online. Some of the benefits that I saw from it were so far. I mean, I'm into day 1 into the evening, and I haven't had that snack craving in the evening. I feel great. My pants fit a little bit better, in my opinion. They're a little bit looser, and I did weigh myself before, and I weighed myself after, and I did not go into this wanting any weight loss. I didn't mind it, of course, but I did end up losing 6 pounds, a little over 6 pounds, and I don't know if that was muscle or fat or a little bit of both, but this is a 5-pound fat model here to kind of put in perspective, and this is the weight that I lost, a little bit more than this. So when you do something like this, you want to use it as a stepping stone to get back on track, or to get on track. I use it to get it back on track. So I'm really starting to watch things a little bit more closely than I did, like I mentioned before the quarantine. So I'm really watching things more so, because you don't want to go through this journey and put the money into it and the time and go back to eating garbage again. So use it as a stepping stone. Use it as, I think it would be a great plateau breaker too, for those that are stuck in a certain weight, that have been on a lifestyle change and can't seem to move that needle and lose those last 5-10 pounds. It may be a great plateau breaker for you. But the only thing that I would do differently is, and my coach advised me of this, is I would not do any kind of strenuous exercises. I still went to CrossFit every day. Again, I like to push limits. I'm a limit pusher. I like to see how far I can go. And my workouts are pretty solid, but I could really tell that the energy was not there for that type of activity. So I would recommend, if you're wanting to exercise and do the juice cleanse, just go for a walk. Just do something like yoga. Do something that isn't very strenuous or very high intensity. So that's the only thing I would change. But all in all, it was a great journey. It's good to be eating solid foods again. And I would probably be open to doing this in the near future too. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my journey about the juicing. If you could, there should be a logo in the corner with the grocery cart and the apple. If you could click on that, hit subscribe, and even share with your friends. I'm going to be doing more of these videos, and I hope that they help and that they're insightful. If you have any questions, you can always email me at shophealthyforlife@gmail.com. I'm always glad to answer any questions. Heck, we can even do schedule a grocery store tour too. So in the meantime, you all take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.